Welcome. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. I got it all figured out. I was trying to switch to horizontal mode, and they changed it. It used to be one way, and then they changed how you change that setting. I hate change. Don't you guys? Sometimes it's just so tricky to figure things out. But I'm here to help you with all of the Stampin' Up! Things that are changing. There's so much going on over the next year. Nothing too scary, and nothing I can't help you through. And if you ever have any questions, you can ask me. I'm here for you. We got our video figured out, and I've got some fun projects to share with you today. I'm using the new Fields in Bloom stamp set. I've had this one for a while, and I haven't used it, and so I just was looking at my stamp sets, and I thought, I think we should do it. So let's take a look at this in the catalog, because it is in the annual catalog. What did I say it's called? Fields in Bloom. That's dies. Fields in Bloom, page 85. This is a standalone stamp set. It's featured here on page 84 and 85 in the catalog. And so this is actual size, what you see on the catalog page. I like when they show things actual size, so you can kind of see. It is a big image. And there's multiple images in here that are like two-step and layered together. So we're going to make a card with this one. I'm also using a little bit of some new online exclusive things. And as always, flying by the seat of my pants, so welcome to the show. There's just a couple days left to sign up for the 12 days of Christmas in July. I'd like to end those signups on Monday, July 15th, so that I can have enough time to get everything ordered and put together for you. The daily videos are going to start on Thursday, July 25th, and those will be at 1:00 p.m. Central Time, daily unboxing and project videos to go along with the 12 days of Christmas gifts. So this is not a class, it's more of a curated gift box, a gifting experience. 12 individually wrapped gifts, all Stampin' Up! Product that you're going to love, plus a bonus gift from me. So many of you have already signed up, so thank you so much, and I'm so excited to get going. Today I was working a little bit on getting some of those wrapped. It's also bonus days, and so this is a fun time to shop with Stampin' Up! Because you can get a $5 coupon for every $50 that you order in the online store until the end of July, and then you can redeem those coupons in August. And so that is super exciting. And we had this new online exclusive release, some brand new products. So we're going to dabble into some of these products today, and use a new stamp set and some dies and some paper to create some cards. So you can shop for all these online exclusives in my online store, juliedavison.com/shop. There's so much to choose from, and the best place to find all of the Stampin' Up! Products is in the online store. There's more than just what's in the printed catalog. And so I'm going to show you some of those today. So let's jump in. Oh no, it looks like someone's having some sound issues. I love technology, right? It looks like it's not a universal problem. Sometimes if you go out of your YouTube app or site and come back in, sometimes that helps. So hopefully that will help anyone who's having any issues. Thank you guys so much for giving this video a thumbs up, liking, and sharing it. It's so helpful to my channel. All right, Fields in Bloom. Do you guys have this one? Is it on your list? Maybe it will be after today, huh? It is a two-step stamp, so I was trying to decide on what color to use. I've got Old Olive pulled out for the leaves, and then for the flowers, which is a separate stamp, I can't decide between Calypso Coral and Petunia Pop. And I know what you're going to say, so I am prepared to make one of each. I have pulled out some pieces of this really pretty paper. This one is also from the annual catalog, and it is called Thoughtful Designs. It has just 5 sheets, all different colors, and there's sort of these ombre faded colors. So this is actually the same sheet. from different ends. One color kind of fades into the other. And so here's the middle, and you can kind of see that fade. This one was at the top, this one is at the bottom. And so it's kind of Petunia Pop on one end and Calypso Coral on the other. And so I cut from both extremes, and I can't decide which one to use for our card. So I did cut for both. So maybe we'll just give it a go and we'll see how they look, and then we'll do a this or that. I also have cut a little piece of basic white cardstock with the stylish shape dies in a stitched square, and so it is a smaller piece, so it doesn't fit the whole image, but just a little taste of it. Oh, I was thinking we could do some clouds and the bird too, but this is sort of a small piece, so maybe I will focus instead on just the flowers. Let's start with the leaves. So we're going to do that in the old olive. And I don't need to ink up the whole stamp because we're not going to use 1/2 of it. So I'm just going to focus here on the one side and stamp that. Now, if you wanted to include the clouds, you could go a little bit lower. And so this is just the first part of the image. We're going to do that for both of these since they both have green. And then we're going to do the flowers in the other color. I'm looking at your comments. Petunia Pop. I know it's such a pretty color, isn't it? Calypso Coral is one of my all-time favorites too. You can't go wrong with that one. But let's see. Let's start with Calypso Coral, and then we'll clean it and we'll do Petunia Pop. And I think this is the right end. The other cool thing about these flowers is that they kind of have some depth to them. So we have larger flowers in the front and the smaller flowers in the back. So it looks like a field that just keeps going on and on and on. I'm hovering above to line up in all the holes. I love the photopolymer stamps, especially for these two-step images. Oh, that looks so fun. I love that. So there's the Calypso Coral. We've got our beautiful field of flowers. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Chamois, and I'm going to clean this and use it in Petunia Pop, and we'll see which one of these we prefer. I kind of feel like neither one is a really is a really perfect match, because that seems very light and this is dark, and I think the same is going to be true with the Petunia Pop. When we stamp on it, I think we're going to see a very darker version of the color that's on the designer paper, but we'll see. All right. Again, I'm just kind of hovering. I'm looking at all these flowers and trying to just line them up in the different spaces, the different holes that there are for these flowers. Oh, that's so lovely too. Now this one I did purposely move my green stamp over so that it would go off the edge, because this is the one I stamped first, and I noticed that it went right up to the edge, and so it kind of looks like there's an extra border there. And same thing with the bottom. If you don't want that border, you can stamp a little farther down, but I liked my stamping better with the Calypso Coral one because it goes fully side to side. All right, so the other thing that we have on this card is a little tag with the greeting. Actually, I also wanted to stamp on the inside, and there's another stamp in this stamp set that is just like a little bouquet of flowers, and so I thought I would stamp that in the corners of the inside, and so we'll do that in both the colors as well. So we'll start with the green leaves, and then we'll stamp the flowers in the alternating colors. Did I stamp? Oh, I did. Okay. Oh, I love two-step. Now, I don't ever use it, and many of you might have the Stamparatus or the Misty for stamp positioning. So if you do have trouble lining up your stamps like that, a stamp positioning tool such as that is a great thing to have in your collection to help you get lined up just right. But the photopolymers make it easier to do it on your own. Okay, let's get a card put together. Oh, I gotta bring in the greetings. This is one of the brand new online exclusives. It's called Everyday Greetings, and this is a standalone stamp set, but it is intended to coordinate with the dies and the stamps in the Greetings of the Season stamp set. And so this is part of the Season of Green and Gold suite. And this obviously has the Christmas and winter greetings in it, but the dies are not seasonal at all. The dies are going to be perfect for all kinds of cards, whether you're using it with either one of these stamp sets or any stamp set that you have at home. But I just love the style of these greetings. And so I have die cut using the coordinating tag. I die cut some of those tags, this one here, and I wanted to use a sentiment from the Everyday Greeting. So I'm going to use the thank you. I send a lot of thank you cards for everyone who orders from me every month, and so I always can use a nice thank you stamp. So I'm going to do this in the same colors as the flowers. So I'm going to do one in Petunia Pop, and I'll do a second one in Calypso Coral. Oh, Janice, thank you for the thumbs up. It does kind of, depending on what device you're watching on, sometimes it does not reflect like the current thumbs up count. So you might only be seeing 2, but someone who loads the video now might see a higher number. So thank you for your concern, but I'm sure there's more than 2 that have thumbs up the videos. And if you haven't yet, please do. It helps so much on my channel. I don't know, I don't get a lot of thumbs down. I hope that if you don't enjoy the video that you just don't come back. That sounded bad, but if you don't enjoy it, then don't come back to not enjoy it again. I hope that you enjoy and you come back to enjoy it again, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I would hope that if you were not enjoying something that you wouldn't go through watching it all over again if you didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Okay, anyway, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm looking back at our stamp set to see if there's anything that I want to put on the inside. I've got thank you on the front, and a lot of them are more specific sentiments like anniversary, love you, hello, best wishes, birthday friend. And then I love this one, where there is heartache, let there be healing. So that's kind of to go with the thinking of you, but I don't really see any like inside sentiments to go with thank you. So I'm just going to leave it blank, and we're going to go ahead and put our cards together. Yes, Barbie Ann, thank you so much for the reminder. Postage is going up. I think it is technically going up on Sunday. So you'll want to make sure to get some postage stamps. It's going up 5 cents. The first class forever stamps are going up 5 cents from 68 to 73. That's a big increase. I have placed my order on the USPS website, and I've also bought some directly from the post office in person. Please, please, please do not follow any links that advertise a great deal or a warehouse or a clearance sale on stamps. It's not real. The post office isn't getting any money. They're counterfeit stamps. So make sure that if you're stocking up on stamps, postage stamps, that you are buying directly from the United States Post Office. There's my PSA for the day. But yeah, buy now. Those forever stamps are good forever. So you can buy them at today's rate and then use them after they go up, and it's just the same. Debbie, yes, 100 stamps today. I don't know how many I bought. I spent an obscene amount of money on postage. And the thing is like, it probably will only last me 4 months or something like that. But I did get a lot of stamps for the kids and for thank you cards and for the great big card swap. I got some non-machinables. I got some global stamps. I mean, I just kind of got a little bit of everything. Tony, add it to your to-do list. Yes. All right. We've got our images that are going to come over, here. And I'm kind of feeling like this is a little busier than I intended it to be. And maybe we need to bring in some solid cardstock pieces of our coordinating colors. And so I'm going to grab that really quick. Let's see here. A little bit of Calypso Coral. And I had to go to the other side of the room. A little bit of the Petunia Pop. And I'm thinking just like a little 3/4 of an inch piece. 3/4 of an inch. And if you wanted to go all the way across, the designer paper piece is it's 2 inches, I believe, by 5. And so I'm going to have the solid cardstock. I'm going to have that go all the way across at 5 inches. And let's see what we think about that. I think that just kind of nicely anchors and pulls in that darker shade. What do you guys think? It's kind of subtle. maybe we like it for just a piece at the very bottom instead of across the center. I don't know. I think I like it across the center. It's hard to see because it's so similar in color here. There you can see it a little bit better, maybe. I like the Calypso Coral better, just the contrast. We need something to tie on our tags because we have a hole that is part of the die. So the hole is cut on all of those shapes. All of those dies have that hole cut there. So we can do a little bit of white baker's twine. And that comes in, looking at my other colors, that comes in a package like this that has some other essentials in it. The Baker's Twine Essential Pack includes crumb cake, vanilla, gray granite, white, and black as well. And I find I use the white a lot. There's actually, I believe, a different amount on each color. I think there's more of the white than, you know, some of the other colors. I'd have to look again at the details in the catalog, but it does have, I believe, more of the white than the other colors. Looks like I cut a little too much. Now, if you wanted to customize this a little bit, you could use your Stampin' Blend markers to color the twine, or you could use your ink pad and like a sponge dropper or something to do a direct to ink, or dye it with some re-inker and some water and dye the twine. But I think I'm going to leave it white. I think I like that. And so I'm going to add some adhesive to our strip. Use Stampin' Dimensionals, of course, here on the bottom or the back side. We always got to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I'll use some on the back of the tag as well. Okay, I was so worried I put it on the wrong one. But no, that's good. We're gonna just trim those a little bit. I love the way that turned out, and the petunia pop as well. We need some we need some butterflies. That's what we need. Sorry. I was like thinking in my head, what do we use? What do we use? These would be very good. I like those calypso coral dots, but then I thought that doesn't make sense to randomly be on the flowers. So we have a couple options. We have the birds and the dragonflies, but the ones that I love even more are the brush brass butterflies. So many good options. The butterflies I think are gonna be my choice. I just like the size of them. And so I'm gonna do 2 over here, and then a third one by the tag. Oh, yes! I love that. Now you could have a really clean and simple card, and you could do that big stamp just like on a note card instead of on a little piece with all the layering. So if you want to do some simple stamping, I do think that this would be really pretty on just like a plain white note card. In fact, maybe we'll just stamp one up really quick and see what that looks like. How many of you do simple stamping where you just kind of focus on stamps and ink and paper, of course? Or do you prefer to layer and add, you know, designer paper and die cutting and all of that kind of stuff? What is your stamping style? Leave a comment and let me know. Clean and simple, stepped up, over the top. Do you like to really go all out on your cards, or is your style a little bit cleaner, a little easier? Sometimes I feel like all I have time for is simple stamping, but my style has evolved for sure. I just recently celebrated 22 years as a demonstrator. I kind of forgot to say anything. It was the last week of June, and I don't remember, the 28th or the 29th, something like that. And I was on vacation, so I just was totally forgetting about my anniversary. But yeah, I celebrated 22 years as a demonstrator. And I can't hardly believe it does not feel like that long at all. Before we try some simple stamping, this or that, tell me which card you prefer. And is it because of the color, or is it just because of the contrast? Like for me, it really is the contrast here of the Calypso Coral cardstock with the designer paper. This one blends in a little bit more, and I think it's just harder to see. But I think I do even prefer the color of the Calypso Coral. Oh, thank you so much, Fonda, for the congratulations. It has been such a fun ride to be a demonstrator. I've enjoyed it so much. And I certainly never thought I'd still be doing this so long after. Okay, let me grab out some note cards. We're just gonna do one quick little note card. I need to order some more of these. These are the note cards and envelopes. It comes with 20 to a package. So you get 20 cards, 20 envelopes, and it's great for quick and simple cards. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this stamp looks like it is designed almost perfectly to go on a note card. So let's do some stamping on the note card. I say that and I'm kind of feeling like I want to go this way, so I think I'm going to. I'll do both. I'll do one of each. I just can't decide today. Always changing my mind. That is my struggle. I'm always changing my mind and doing a little bit different than I had planned to. Okay, so this is a vertical card, and I did go over the edge a little bit onto the back, but I'm not really worried about it. It's gonna be fine. If someone looks at the back, they'll just see a little bit more of a pretty design. Here I'm going to go a little bit higher because I know that there's going to be room on the sides. That's not centered perfectly, but that's good enough. And I'm gonna stick with Calypso Coral, since that was the color I liked. And I'm gonna stamp that. This is like magic, the way it just fits in there. It's so easy, so perfect. Look at that. And we'll do the same thing over here. Oh, so pretty. I love it. Okay. There are clouds and there are birds. And so I'm going to get out some peach pie and some pool party. I don't know that I have room for clouds over here. And so I think on this one, I'm gonna leave it off. But since I have the room, I'm going to add it here. And for our sentiment, how about we just do something, oh, I like that thinking of you. Let's get that one out. Thinking of you. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking again, changing my mind, deciding. I'm going to use basic gray. This is such a great color if you don't want the harshness of the black. So for our clean and simple vertical card, we have a whole little scene here, simple stamping, no layering at all. And on this one, since we do have kind of a lot of space, oh, that's the envelope, not a lot of space, rather, to stamp the sentiment, I am going to just take a little scrap of paper, and I'm gonna just cut it down. So this is just basic white, and I'm going to cut 3/4 of an inch, and then I actually wanted to do, well, I wanted to cut it just a little bit. I'll show you in a second. Like go more in the middle. And then I was just gonna do a quick like angle on both ends. Still clean and simple. And if you wanted to add a little bit more, because I can't stop. I can't do clean and simple. I'm going to take a little strip of that Calypso Coral that we had out earlier. Because I just like the pop. What can I say? I just like the pop. Okay, some clean and simple cards with this beautiful stamp set. This one's called Fields in Bloom. Or some stepped up with designer paper and dies and embellishment and ribbon and all kinds of things. I don't see a lot of comments, so you guys gotta let me know what your stamping style is. What do you like? I saw a few of you comment. Am I just not seeing all the comments maybe? Maybe I missed them all up here. Maria says she likes layers to step it up. Sue likes fun folds with layers of designer paper. Yes. Connie says clean and simple most of the time. Christine, usually more simple stamping, though you do use designer paper quite a bit. That's such an easy way to step up a card. Jennifer likes simple cards because she can get cards done in one sitting. Yes, sometimes when I and really doing a more intricate design, it'll take me a long time to finish up and to figure out what I'm doing. All right, we've got more cards. I'm gonna just move our stack of ink pads out of the way, and I'm gonna move some of these big stamps out of the way too. They're just taking up so much room here. And we'll move on to another card. So we use the Fields of Bloom, and this one was from the annual catalog, but I wanted to bring in and make another card with the Everyday Greetings. So this was the stamp set that we used, and I thought I would do something with the designer paper. Okay, so let me bring in the whole suite. Hang on a second. Here we go. Okay, so Everyday Greetings is a standalone stamp set. I talked about the greetings of the season being the one that comes with the dies, where you save 10% off if you get them together. The other stamp set in this suite is the Golden Greenery, and Mom and I will be showcasing this suite in this week's episode of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. It has some detailed dies and some outline dies that go with this stamp set. And it has coordinating designer paper and vellum. So the designer paper is called Season of Green and Gold. It's 12 by 12, and it has these beautiful foil designs. And on the other side, some green. So you've got gold and green with Old Olive here and Mossy Meadow. And then there's also some designer vellum, and the designer vellum and the designer paper have some images that you can die cut the design or with the dies from Golden Greenery. And so this is obviously a very Christmas kind of stamp set, but I thought let's try to do something with this designer paper that isn't Christmassy. And so that is the next challenge. I'm gonna use the dies and the stamps from Everyday Greetings to create a card with the images from the designer paper. So I die cut, I just pulled it off. I die cut that image, and this one die cuts, and that one die cuts, and you can also die cut using the same dies from the vellum. And so I have one from the designer paper and I have one from the vellum. So pretty. And then also I die cut one of the detailed dies from the same set. And so I thought we could do a card. I was kind of feeling like a wedding vibe with some of these images, the greenery images. And so I brought in another piece of that Thoughtful Designs. This is the paper that we used on the first card, and I brought in a little green piece from that one. So this green piece is 3/4 by 3/4, 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and this is going on a thick white card base. And then I have a piece of gold foil cardstock to go across the top, and then I was just planning to do some layering of the elements here. And I didn't have a real big plan, kind of winging it as I do. And then I have a tag to go on there, and I thought I'd bring in a little bit of gold ribbon. And this is a duo of ribbon. It comes with silver and gold, and you'll find this in the online exclusives. So the skinny gold is the one I want to use and bring in some of that gold from here. And I'm just gonna do like a faux tie of everything together. So I'm just planning to tie a bow and stick it on top, and everything else will just be glued down. Even though it has a hole here at the top, the bow will cover that hole, so it'll kind of look like the ribbon is tying everything together, but it won't be attaching anything together. It'll just kind of be covering up where it all comes together. Does that make sense? For our card, because I was kind of feeling a wedding vibe, and you can tell me if I'm off base here, I wanted to use the congratulations stamp. And now that I get this out, I don't know if the script congratulations is going to fit that skinny little tag. So I will use the other congratulations with the block font and stamp that. And I really think to tie everything together, we need to use some embossing powder to go on our tag. So I've die cut this ahead of time. This comes from that Greetings of the Season die set. So it's the long skinny one here. And I've die cut that with old Olive Cardstock. I'm going to use my Versamark ink pad. And I finally got some new embossing powder. The Wow embossing powder is brand new to Stampin' Up! And it comes in two different assortments. We've got the silver and gold and copper. So this is the metallic assortment. And then we also have the basics assortment, which has white, clear, and black. I'm also going to be using the embossing additions toolkit, which includes the Powder Pal tray and the brush, the embossing buddy, and there should be tweezers. Oh, there we are. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to use the embossing buddy to go over our cardstock. And this just helps to get rid of any of the oil from your hands, any kind of debris or dust that may interfere with the embossing powder sticking to the image. Oh my goodness. I have a very messy Powder Pal. I think I got, I just need to clean it out. So for right now, I'm going to use a piece of paper for my Powder Pal, and I'm going to stamp congratulations in the Versamark. So this is a watermark ink pad. And then I'll use my embossing powder. And this is really nice embossing powder. I'm excited about this new assortment. You know, embossing powder lasts such a long time, just depending on how long or how much you use it. And I don't emboss that much. So a little powder, a little jar like this is going to last me a long time, because you can funnel that that embossing powder right back into the jar to use over and over again. So you're only using the amount that sticks to the image that you're embossing. We're going to use the heat tool to heat this up. This is what the tweezers are for, so you don't burn your fingers. So we're going to use the heat tool and switch that on. Oh, there's a little bit of extra powder on the end here. I'm just going to wipe that away, because if the powder is there, it will heat, and then you'll have maybe extra flecks that you don't want. So you're just going to heat with the heat tool until the powder melts, and you'll be able to tell because it gets shiny, especially with the metallics. It's a lot easier to tell. With the basic colors, they're more opaque, and so it can be harder to tell. Usually you can see them get brighter, and that's sort of the difference there. All right, so we've got our congratulations greeting, and we're gonna get this card put together. Now, I was debating on stamping on the inside, and I haven't used the stamps yet, so maybe we'll do a little stamping. But these same images that I die cut from the vellum and the designer paper also have coordinating stamps, and so you can stamp those to match, so we can stamp on the inside. Have I not used these? I guess I haven't. I've been using a lot of the images from the designer paper that I didn't even think about, how I haven't actually used these stamps yet, but I definitely will before our video this weekend. I'm going to get out that old olive ink pad. And I'm going to stamp the darker color here, the outline, and then I can do either two things. I can stamp off with the old olive to get a lighter color, or I can bring in some of the soft sea foam. Let's do that on this one, a lighter color, and then this is going to go right over the top, and again with the photopolymer I can see right where it goes. Oh, I love that detailed image. I wish I'd come down just a little bit off the edge of the cardstock, but that's okay. So if I wanted to, I could stamp like this, and then I could die cut and use that instead of the images from the designer paper. Let's glue this down with some Stampin' Seal adhesive. I'm just going towards the bottom and evenly spacing it from the sides and the bottom. A little bit of gold foil. This is 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4 is going to go across the top. And then I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal, liquid glue, a combination of all the things to add our die cuts. Maybe a little bit down here too. On this one, I'm going to kind of try to go with the lines on the leaves because you will be able to see through the vellum, but I'm thinking if I go with the lines that are there, that it won't be so stark. Really pretty. Get out some glue dots to add. I'm going to use glue dots for the tag. I'll just put it on and got all three of them at the same time, right in the center. And then also some glue dots to attach the bow over the top of the whole bunch of it. Congratulations. Now this could be anything. I think maybe a wedding, you know, that could possibly work, but also any kind of congratulatory event. So perhaps an anniversary or retirement or anything that you might be celebrating, a graduation. I think we need a little bling on this though. So let's see what we can bring in to bling up our card just a little bit. We've got a few options that have gold, including these beautiful blooming pearls. Kind of like the way that green looks as well. So we've got blooming pearls that have gold. We've got some of these gold iridescent foil gems. We have, I'm looking for some metallic right here. Actually, that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for this one. This is the adhesive backed metallic gems, and they have some gold and copper and silver, and these are more faceted. So I don't know, let's do a quick little poll. Do you like the blooming pearls with the gold, or the iridescent foil gems, or the faceted metallic gems? 1, 2, 3. Let's take a quick poll. You guys can let me know what you think. To finish off our card, what kind of gem should we use there? I'm just looking ahead to figure out what I'm going to use for my next sentiment. Maybe that one. That'll be good. Okay, let's see here. Fonda, yes. You could send this to someone celebrating a Stampin' Up! Anniversary. Okay, Fonda says 2, Jennifer says 1, Bonnie says 2, Jaylene says 2, Jean says 1, Sharon, which one was the faux? Is that the foil? Is that what you're thinking? That's a 2. Christine says 3, 1, 1. I think ones have got it. Oh, faceted. You know, I mean, honestly, they're all great choices. I don't think you could go wrong. Let's do some of the, oh, this is lovely. Some of the gold bloomin' pearls. Just a few of those. Oops, to embellish our card a little bit. I love it. I love it. Well, I've got one more card to make tonight, and we are going to use some more of the vellum. I'm kind of trying to tag team the product. So our first card, we use some of the thoughtful, what is that called? Thoughtful moments. Yeah, no, thoughtful designs, designer paper. So we use some of that on this card and this card. We used the everyday greetings and the dies on both of those cards here. A lot of gold. I got a little bit of gold going on. For our last card, I wanted to use some more of this Season of Green and Gold designer paper to create a card using another online exclusive. And this one is the Frosted Forest. And I think I'm going to use this die, which came from the same set. These are such great dies. Whether you get them on their own or whether you get them bundled with that Christmas greeting set. So when you get them together, you save 10%. So that's always a good deal. I love it. I love a good sale. But if you get the dies on their own, I think they're just fantastic tag dies. So we're going to use these one more time to create a card using the Frosted Forest bundle. This is brand new. This is part of the online exclusive offering. And it is a bundle that includes decorative masks. And I am convinced that I did not receive the masks that I ordered because they are nowhere to be found. So I've got another set that are coming my way. But I was inspired by this card up here on the online exclusives little marketing graphic. I just really thought that layout was kind of fun. So I wanted to bring in some stamped images, and the way they originally colored this in was using the decorative masks. And since I don't have the decorative masks, I decided instead to die cut some of the detailed pieces. So I have the same tree image. I did the outline just in white. So this actually would also fit the stamped image. If I wanted to stamp that, it would also fit the same die cut. And then I also have the tree leaves, which are a detailed die image. So intricate and beautiful. And so this one, why did that not die cut nicely? Yikes. I'm going to use some of my take your pick tool. I'm going to poke out those pieces so we get that detailed die cut. And I'm kind of actually wishing that I'm kind of wishing that I chose green. Green back there, but you know, let's try something. Let's try stamping. First, I need to poke. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool that has a poker, and I'm going to poke out pieces here. Alternatively, I could just color. I could just color with Stampin' Blends. That does feel like it would be easier at this point. Although I don't know. So the other alternative is that I could still use the detailed die cut over the stamped image. Let's see. Let's play around. I'm still going to need to do some poking. I need a big block, and so I've got to steal that from our first project. Sorry, I think you got my hair in there for a second. And we're going to stamp this. What color should we stamp with? If we put this over the top, should we stamp in a dark color like black or early espresso, do a little bit of coloring underneath, or we could stamp in mossy meadow or old olive, and that color will kind of show through. This did not die cut well at all. I think we're gonna need to just try to die cut again, which is not making me happy. But we can use some of our adhesive sheets to help us. I think actually it will help a lot with the poking too. Let me get a piece of the Mossy Meadow cardstock. And the way the adhesive sheets work, it's a double-sided sheet of adhesive, and so I'm going to put it on the cardstock, and it has a paper backing on it right now, so I'm peeling it off the paper backing, but it still has another part of the paper backing. And now I've turned this cardstock piece into a sticker, so when I die cut, it will have sticky on the back like a sticker, and it should be a lot easier to peel those things. Okay. Fonda suggests old olive. I was kind of feeling that way on this stamped image, so I'm vibing with you. Speaking of old olive, I am going to die cut an oval tag here. So I'm going to send these through the die cutting machine, which is on the floor. I'm not going to drag it up today. Our theme today, which goes from one card to the other, is old olive. I think we're using old olive on all the cards. All right, before I start trying to peel that, let's do the stamping over here. Let's stamp that on old olive. Whew, it's gonna be tight, but we're gonna make it happen. Right in the center. Ooh. Usually I would stamp and then die cut, but we already had it die cut. And so let's see how we did. Come on. Hey, all right. Not too shabby. I do want to add a little bit of color to the trunk. So I'm going to get out a crumb cake Stampin' Write. I lied. A crumb cake Stampin' Blend. And I'm just going to use some light strokes here, not coloring too heavy. Memento is the best ink pad to use for Stampin' Blends. And so I am just going to just quickly add a little color to the trunk. Not gonna lie, I actually wish I had a darker color. What other darker colors do I have? Dark pecan? Yeah, that's better. And we could add some old olive if we wanted to add some color back there. This is kind of what I was hoping. With the adhesive sheet in the back, we kind of pull off a lot of those chads and it sticks to the paper. Yay, less poking. A nice side effect of using the adhesive sheet. We still do have to do a little bit of poking, but not as much. Poking all those little bits. And I feel like you could leave some of them in, it wouldn't be a big deal. But as I'm poking these out, I'm realizing there's going to be a lot of white showing. So I'm also going to take my old olive marker and I'm going to add some color to this white die cut stamped piece. Okay. Very messy. I'm going with some dark old olive. And again, I'm just going to kind of have quick strokes in here. I just want to add some color. The detailed die cut is going to add a lot of the detail and cover a lot of this up. Okay. And I see a lot of these little pieces that are still kind of stuck in there, but I don't mind. I think it's gonna be all right. I just want to get the big ones though. That actually adds a lot of bump to it. Well, let's just see how it looks. I am trying to decide if I want to add color. I kind of do want to add a little color in here. And fill that in. I like that better. Okay, so there's our tree image, kind of dynamic and fun, very layered. Let me bring in the other pieces that I've prepared for the card. And I have a Mossy Meadow card base, a white piece for the inside. This is a piece of that vellum. We used it on the second card. So there are 3 different patterns to this vellum. And the name of this vellum is Graceful Greenery. So there are 2 sheets that have images that can die cut, and then the third one is just sort of this like white texture on the vellum. And so that's the one that I've cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of the green plaid from the Season of Green and Gold. And this is going to go across the bottom. Oh, Sherry, what a great tip about the dryer sheet. I haven't done that in so long. The way the dryer sheet works with the detail die is to layer that dryer sheet in between the die and the paper. And it just helps for a cleaner cut so everything pops out of the die a lot easier. The adhesive sheet complicated. I thought it was going to be good, but it complicated poking these pieces out because when I poked them out, it stuck to the adhesive on the back. And so that was the problem, is that they poked out really easy, but then they just got stuck to the back side. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't mind that it has that extra texture and that some of them are in there, but we're going to layer this together like that. And then I have a tag for our sentiment, and I'm going to pull that from the Frosted Forest set. This says, I like this one that says birthday wishes. Let's see if we've got one for the inside. Thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. Birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. No beauty shines brighter than that of a good heart. That could work as a, I think that could work as an inside to a birthday. We are going to add this with, I want to use a dark, I'm going to use pecan pie, a darker brown color. And this fits just nicely onto our tag. I'm going to bring in some of our Essentials twine. We use this on the first couple cards. And I like the crumb cake. I've not used it before. That's crazy. I'm gonna get a little piece of that. My go-to is baker's twine, which is not baker's twine, linen thread, which is like the same kind of color as this. It's more of a natural look, but I like this crumb cake. The crumb cake as well. I think that will work well on this card. So many great shapes in this tag set. I haven't even used the bigger ones yet, which I think are just super fun. So we're going to layer this card together. Birthday wishes for a day as great as you are. I love that. And just a reminder, I was inspired by this card here, which uses a different color card base. Actually, I think there was some stamping in the background instead of the vellum, but I just sort of liked that texture. I thought it was kind of fun. Okay, so for the inside, no beauty shines brighter than a good heart, and I'm also going to stamp the bird. So let's stamp those. Such a great set. I feel like leaves and trees are what I always come back to over and over again. No matter how many I have, I just always get more. I'm realizing how much of a mess I've made over here. So let's get these dies put away. Here are the other dies in this set. How in the heck did that fit on there? What? I'm so confused. This one was down here. I know that for sure. But how did this one fit? Where did it fit? Here? There? Oh, this one? No, that does not fit. These are the first 3 dies I used on this set, and there is only one page. Oh, wow. All right, share your tips. I know you guys do lots of fun things. I don't really care always to get them back where they belong, but I know sometimes you guys do like a photocopy or take a picture or something like that. Oh, I remember someone did like an impression where they die cut, they sent it through, and it created an impression in their cardstock, and that helped to help them to know where to put back the dies. So they kind of, before they took anything off, send it through and make it an impression. How do you guys keep your dies straight on the sheets, or do you not keep them on the sheet? Do you do something else with them? And as I'm putting that away and seeing your comment, yeah, we do have that tree trunk. Let's bring that back in here. And we could add that onto, it actually should go underneath the leaves though. So, how well can we tear apart our little die cut? Is the adhesive set yet? Oh, we're living on the edge. I saw a comment recently, and someone said, "You're driving me crazy." And I saw it after the fact, and I was like, what did I do wrong? And as I'm tearing this off, I'm realizing that's probably when they made the comment, when I was tearing something off. Does it drive you crazy when I tear things off? Well, I hope that it just makes you smile and that it doesn't drive you crazy, because I do it all the time. So hopefully I'm not driving everybody crazy. This is going to go, we're going to layer over the stamped image and then add that back over the top. And I had used the adhesive sheet, so it still has a little sticky in there. All right, I like that layered look. Although now I'm wishing I'd used a darker brown for my sentiment. I'm not going to redo it. Okay, we were stamping. That's where we left off. We're stamping. Let's add that back on here too. This is a great set of dies. We used it on all the cards today, and I think it's such a good one. If you don't have these yet, I highly recommend Greetings of the Season dies. I'll add the link to the video description when we're all done. I like to do that with all of the colors that we use. I said colors, but I meant products. I don't always put the colors. I don't know, should I be putting the colors? I don't know how many people look. Do you ever have a question about the colors that I'm using? That is true, Janice. It's not a Thursday night stamp therapy unless we have cut or torn apart some kind of card piece. That's just how we roll around here. That is the truth. All right, let's get our card put together. We are making our third card if you're just joining us. And I have some birthday cards to share. I was kind of debating because my birthday is next week. So I think I'm actually going to hold those birthday cards and I'll share them all next week. Thank you to everyone who has sent cards. You guys are really awesome. I'm going to use a larger piece of adhesive across the bottom because our designer paper is going to cover that up. And you can see right through it, and then a little bit in the top corners just because I've got to have something to hold down the top edges. And then I'll use adhesive on the back of the I've got green freckles from those hanging chads. This is going all the way across the cardstock. I'll have all the measurements for you in the video description when I'm all done. And then I'm going to do some Stampin' Dimensionals. We'll use some on both the tree as well as the tag. And just cut the border there. Oh, I'm kind of feeling though like we need some embellishments. And I think I know just the right one that I want to use. I don't like this adhesive. Oh gosh, I wish I'd not put it there. I'm gonna rub it off the vellum because I realized I could just put it underneath the tree. And that will hold the top edge down. It'll still be a little loose over here, but it'll be okay because it'll be held down underneath the tree. Hold on. Ooh, buckle up. I want to go a little higher with the tree. Ooh. Okay, and then that's gonna fit better there. Let's get out the embellishments. The ones I have in mind are brand new and they're kind of like rustic looking. They go with the Wildly Flowering suite. from the annual catalog. And we've had some different rustic dot embellishments, but I really like these because they're a little bit flatter. They're called adhesive backed textured dots. And they come in 2 sizes of this sort of like metallic that's kind of between gold and, I don't know. It's not like a shiny gold. It's more of a distressed gold, perhaps. I think that is just the right look for this tree card. The brass birds. Oh, Donna, that's a great question. The brass birds and dragonflies, I had them out earlier, although we didn't use them. I think that they're still available. They were an online exclusive. However, the online exclusives are while supplies last, so it's very possible that the birds and dragonflies may have sold out. I don't know for sure. Oh, Tony says yes, so excellent. Thank you, Tony. And that's a great idea. Tony's saying if you put the embellishments in the big empty area, then you can always add a glue dot behind that embellishment. But I think it'll be okay as it is. So here's our finished card with the frosted forest. Our theme today was Old Olive. We used that on all of the cards that we made. A little bit of color on that first card. We used some brand new products from online exclusives like the Frosted Florist. We used the greetings of the season tags. I love those. We used some of the greenery, Graceful Greenery Vellum, and some of the season of gold and green designer paper, both to die cut and also for the background on our card. So I hope that you enjoyed all the projects that I made tonight. Is there one in particular that you feel inspired to try at home, or one that you feel like is more your style that you would make? Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. You can get all the products that I showed you in the online store at juliedavison.com/shop, and I'll put a shopping list in the video description so you can find all of the things that I showed you today, including the adhesive sheets and the twine, the gold foil, and that thoughtful designs paper that is just so fun and special. Don't forget about bonus days happening now. You can earn a $5 coupon for every $50 that you order right now in July, and then you can redeem those coupons in August. So it's such a great time to shop. Don't forget to sign up for the 12 Days of Christmas in July gift box. That information is in the video description. You can check it out also at tinyurl.com/JulieGiftBox. If this link doesn't work, check in the video description because some people are having problems with that redirect. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm so happy that you were here. If you enjoyed tonight's video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to like my channel and subscribe so you don't miss out on future paper crafting videos. We're going to have more of that gold and green suite from the online exclusive in this week's episode of Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. So tune in at Sunday, noon Central Time, to see what I create. Hopefully you're gonna love it. I know it's gonna be a super special project. I have some ideas already formulating in my head. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of my stamping community, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.